Our second posthumous inductee, Roland Rhodes, was well known throughout the Midwest for his tireless devotion to supplying the industry with quality products, service, and training. He loved learning and being an industry advocate, and to that end, he was active in a number of industry organizations, including the Entomological Society of America, Pi Chi Omega, and the United Producers, Formulators, and Distributors Association. Let's take a look back at Roland's life and industry contributions.
Born June 8, 1927, Roland Rhodes grew up in Kansas City, Kansas, where he lived with his two brothers and two sisters. In 1944, he joined the United States Navy's war effort at just 17, after a high school career of being in plays and even the drum major for the marching band. He was stationed at a Navy hospital near Seattle, caring for wounded sailors and Marines returning from the Pacific Theater. After he was discharged, he attended the University of Kansas on the GI Bill and earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry in 1949. Rhodes married his high school sweetheart, Winona Carpenter, in 1947, and once he graduated, began working as a plant chemist for Stokely Van Camp. He moved over to FMC's West Vaco Chemical Division from 1951 to 1954, and from there became the Chief Chemist Research and Development Manager for Cook Chemical, famous for its Real Kill product line. While at Cook, he formulated a fly control aerosol, Prime Professional Insecticide, and set up a national marketing program for its distribution to the pest management industry. As part of his role at Cook Chemical, Rhodes attended the National Convention in 1956 and the Purdue Pest Control Conference in 1957. The experience led him to realize that there was a need for better product distribution in the Midwest, and he had the connections and the expertise to do it. In 1962, Rhodes Chemical Company was begun in the Rhodes family home in Kansas City. By 1966, Roland and Winona were able to move it into a commercial building with the help of their first two employees, Fred Clute and Ralph Stevens. In 1969, Rhodes relocated a second time to its current headquarters on Merriam Lane in Kansas City. That same year, he became a charter member of the United Producers, Formulators, and Distributors Association. Rhodes also was an active member of the Entomological Society of America and Pi Chi Omega. He served on the boards of several state pest management associations and the Kansas Department of Agriculture Board for more than 17 years. He attended the Purdue Conference for more than 35 years and sponsored CEO roundtables at the Kansas Small Business Development Center. He also attended several National Pest Management Association legislative days and testified to the Senate Committee about legislation affecting the industry. While raising his family, Rhodes was a Boy Scouts troop leader for 12 years and coached baseball and softball. He was both a Demolay and a Mason, and he served as a council member for the city of Overland Park, Kansas. Throughout his life, Rhodes was an advocate for education. He and his wife Winona established an endowment program at Purdue University and provided scholarships for the University of Illinois, University of Missouri, Kansas State University, University of Nebraska, and Iowa State University. He retired on his 88th birthday in 2015 and passed away less than 6 weeks later, on July 24th. But his legacy continues on in Rhodes Chemical.
It's a real honor to accept this on behalf of Roland. I've known him, I guess, since about 1990 when he came to visit Bell Labs, and I was the official tour guide at Bell Labs at that time, so we took him on plant tours. But I remember my boss and mentor, Malcolm Stack, telling me at that time that Roland was an industry stalwart and a very wise man, and that he was a good person to learn from. So it was wonderful when I moved to Kansas City. I relocated Rockwell to Kansas City in 2004, which is where Roland was based. And as Roland got frailer over the years, he was quite clever. He he would allow me to carry his bags when we would go on industry trips. I think he liked having a younger woman carrying his bags, actually, but he would, so because we were frequently going to RISE meetings or UPFIDA meetings or PestWorld or whatever, so we traveled together a lot. And then later I took over as treasurer of UPFIDA, which is something that he did quite selflessly for many, many years. I've tried to explain to the UPFIDA board that I don't plan on doing it as long as Roland did. And I don't have the ledger that he kept, where he would actually balance the checkbook, like after each check. I've never done that in my life. I don't know how, but it was extremely precise, and I had about a truckload of paperwork that I received when I took over this position. But nonetheless, I used to go and take Roland to lunch later in his years, and he had a great deal of wisdom, a great sense of history of the pest control industry as really one of the founding, first modern distributors in pest control. And so it's a real honor to accept this on his behalf. His daughter, Deborah Ball, would be here, but she's expecting the birth of her first grandchild any minute now, so she was not able to make it.